It has been 30 years since the declaration of World Press Freedom Day by the United Nations. This declaration shaped the climate for other democratic reforms in Africa and ushered in the media boom of the early 1990s. The media landscape in Africa was virtually transformed as the streets of Africa's capital cities were flooded with newspapers. The culture of silence imposed by colonialism and then by post-colonial military dictatorships and autocratic one-party states was rudely broken. Sadly, today, approximately 85% of Africa's population have experienced a decline in press freedom in their countries. It is no longer news that press freedom in Africa is under attack. In recent years, we have witnessed the financial collapse of scores of independent media organizations, regulations, and national legislations that stifle journalists. These legislations often contain vague language and disproportionate punishment that threaten the right to freedom of expression in Africa. The Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, through the Media Freedom Project, has continued to strengthen democratic governance in Africa by advocating for media pluralism, media independence, and the safety of journalists in Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Ghana, the Gambia, and Liberia. Despite the recognition of the right to the freedom of the press by the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, journalism in Africa remains a deadly profession. 9 times out of 10, the murder of a journalist goes unresolved. Journalists in Africa are constantly the targets of intimidation, violence, and harassment. Attacks against them include sexual violence, detention, equipment seizure, arrest, and even murder. Sometimes, slander, libel, and defamation laws are misused. And the purpose of such attacks is often to silence journalists who report on sensitive issues like corruption, organized crime, drug trafficking, and public protests. At the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, our Press Attack Tracker has successfully verified and recorded 610 attacks against media workers and media organizations in Nigeria. To commemorate World Press Freedom Day 2023, the Center, through its Media Freedom Project, has established a plan of action to assess the state of press freedom in West Africa, campaign for media freedom, and pay tribute to journalists who have lost their lives in the line of duty. On this and every World Press Freedom Day, the world must speak with one voice. As journalists stand for the truth, the world must stand with them.